Hi guys, welcome back to Pottery by Malika. Today I wanted to share with you how I made these awesome agateware heart bowls. With Valentine's Day coming up, I thought it would be fun to do some heart themed pots, and my wedding anniversary is also this month. It's not on Valentine's Day. We've been married 12 years now, and no, that doesn't make me as old as you're probably thinking. We got married young. So, back to the reason you're here, the bowls! I used half and half red clay and white clay. My usual white clay is Georgie's G Mix, and for the red I used Georgie's Trail Mix Cinnamon. Sounds like it should be some snack mix, but it's clay. I tried a few different ways of combining the clay, which you'll see as we go along. I don't know that I had a preference on how I combined it, whether layering it more or putting the two colors just next to each other. All the swirly patterns seemed to come out fairly randomly no matter which way I put the clay together initially, but it was fun to try different ways anyway. I threw these like any other bowl once the ball of combined clay was on the wheel. The clays were not completely the same in terms of softness and texture, so getting it centered was harder than a totally homogeneous ball of clay. I had to cone up and down extra times, but I did get it to work after a bit more effort than usual. As I pulled the walls, the top rim ended up uneven most of the time, but with a little help from my needle tool, I was able to resolve that too. Usually not really an issue for me, but with the two different clay bodies, it was extra tricky. Once I got them all thrown, I used my metal rib tool to remove the extra slip on the outside of the pot. This is the really fun part of working with agateware or marbled clay, as this is where you really get to see the patterns emerge. Before this point, it looks like it's all more or less one color, but under the slip it's quite different and very interesting. After these bowls dried a day or so, I wired them off the bats and shaped the rims to be heart-shaped. Altering the rim is rather simple, but it really makes the bowls so much more interesting. I needed to shape the rim while they were all still pretty soft, and I needed to trim them when they were a bit more firm, so that's why I shaped them before trimming. I almost always trim my pots on the wheel, but with these having an altered rim, it would be harder to center, and I didn't want to risk misshaping the rim, so I just did some light trimming by hand. I then carved grooves around the base of the bowl to add some more interest. I really like how it shows the layers of color underneath the surface when I carve some away. I ended up using two different tools for this, but I really only needed the second one. The first one I used ended up carving the clay away okay, but it's smearing the exposed layers, so I ended up changing to a different tool that gave the underlayers a more crisp finish. After trimming and carving, they dried some more. Winter certainly slows down drying around here, so they sat and dried for at least 2 weeks. Then it was on to the first firing. This bisque firing in the kiln removes any remaining moisture and prepares the pots to be glazed. Once I unloaded the bisque kiln, it was on to glazing. I didn't remember to film this step until the last minute, but just picture brushing on glaze like this for an additional 20 to 30 minutes, and you really didn't miss anything. I wanted the clay to really show through, so I just applied a clear glaze. Once they were glazed, it was back into the kiln for the final firing. And here's the finished bowls. I was expecting that the red clay would stay more red, but it ended up more brown. So instead of being red like a heart, it ended up brown like chocolate. Both very good for Valentine's Day or an anniversary, or really any day. I don't personally believe that you need to wait till a special day to eat out of a fun bowl or enjoy some chocolate. I'm putting together a website where I'll be selling my pottery, so look for that in the coming weeks. And if you enjoyed watching me make these agateware bowls, be sure to check out these agateware tumblers I made too. As always, thanks for watching.